Disclosed observers believe the party may not be unconnected with efforts to forge new alliances and strengthen the opposition's position in the evolving political landscape. Jonathan, who has in recent months been at the center of consultations across party lines, continues to play a pivotal role in Nigeria's democratic process. Well, for more on the African Democratic Congress, we're being joined in the studio by Honorable Chile Igbawa. He is a member of the ADC Strategy Committee. Good morning.
I think the visit was a private visit to the national chairman of the party, and I would say that the details of the visit have not yet been disclosed. But you may not be wrong. Jonathan is a former president, and he's been in the news of recent concerning whether he will be run for elections in 2027 or not. And even if he's not running, what he thinks about the sitting government and then the opposition political parties. I believe that given the status of the ADC as one of the most active opposition parties, should be interested in having discussions with the national chairman.
Okay, prior to former President Jonathan's visit, he's been on the news. The possibility and the plausibility of his candidacy has been discussed so far. Within the rank and file of the African Democratic Congress, have there been discussions about the possibility of adopting President Jonathan as a likely candidate for the party?
Not at all. The issue is that ADC has, as one of its fundamental principles, always said and insisted that the emergence of a candidate must be through the democratic process. So the issue of adopting a candidate would normally not arise. We have people who are already strong members of the coalition and also in the ADC who are also interested in running for the presidency. But what has been the issue at the forefront, at the front burner of the ADC, is that we should be concerned more about strengthening the structures of the party and ensuring that we're in a position to deliver victory in 2027. And those who are aspirants, to our knowledge, have also agreed that that is the way to go, and that they're willing to step down their ambitions for now to ensure that we have a strong political party on ground. And there is also the assurance, some of those who are known aspirants have publicly declared that they will be willing to work with any candidate who wins through a democratic process. So when we talk about adopting a candidate, it means we are defeating the whole purpose of democracy, and that is not part of the expectations that members of the ADC have.
All right, thank you so much for that, Honorable Igba.
Listen to this video. You know, they say ADC has given Atiku Peter Obi ultimatum to join the party or leave the party. Now here is the reason. The question here is the question is why ultimatum to join? Is ADC a court that they are saying you must join now or never join again? Is that you join now or they shut the door at you? Is it a court? Is there something behind that ultimatum? Something we don't know. But the person they are giving ultimatum to is smarter than them. Is going to outsmart them. So take your time, listen to this video so that you know, just see the reason why they said they are giving an ultimatum. It's because of time, no, because they are desperate now. It's becoming more clearer now that some of these people, they are desperate, and Peter Obi is not desperate like them. For what Peter Obi represents, it does not go well with some of them, and it's going to be a shocker to them in this election 2027 if care is not taken. Anyways, watch this video to the end. We'll come back and talk about it, but don't forget, I'll be your guy now. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel now so that you get to see updates like this.
Now, you know, some of the information that emerged from the ADC yesterday was something that seemed like a marching order, that the ADC will require all of their members to rescind membership with other political parties and become official members of the ADC. Of course, we know that constitutionally this is the expectation. However, in the past, we've seen, you know, a number of prominent people who have straddled, you know, one foot in one place, one foot in another place, and so forth. My question to you is, what is the deadline? Because we also know that a lot of these politicians like to wait until the very last minute when they know that all hope is lost in other places to quickly commit to a place. This has become the trend in most instances. So is ADC going to be bold enough to create a deadline and a timeline that wouldn't be a last minute type of affair?
Oh, no, thank you very much. I think it's not, the deadline is already here. It's now. And we're talking about those who are already members of the coalition, because the coalition has adopted ADC as their platform. So the expectation is that all members of the coalition who had worked together for over a year and 4 months should have made up their minds. We had said in previous programs on television and the media generally that there was some concession given to only two persons, and that was His Excellency El-Rufai and His Excellency Peter Obi, who had outstanding elections in their own former political parties. So they were allowed for the time of the off-season elections to canvass for their candidates. But now that is virtually over. For His Excellency El-Rufai, he has already conducted the by-elections in Kaduna, which he was interested in, and he doesn't have any reason to continue to be showing his membership of more than one political party. And like you rightly say, that's what the Constitution provides.
One of the reports stated that Atiku Abubakar is yet to become an official member of ADC. Is this true?
I'm not too sure about that because we have both, manual and online registration. So I wouldn't say that for now. So you're not sure if Atiku Abubakar, who has been carrying the mantle of the ADC as his brand, you're not sure if he's an official member of the party? No, I'm not sure about the allegation that he's not a member of the ADC. I would rather say he is. And it will be left for a person who has better information to say he is not. I believe that he is a member of the ADC.
Okay, let's look at the internal workings of the party, especially a fallout from the stakeholders meeting that was held yesterday at the ADC. Now, one of the take-home is that the party agreed that they would support whoever wins the primary. But the question is, we understand that Section 84 of the Electoral Act 2022 provides for 3 modes of conducting primaries with the presence of INEC. That's the direct, indirect, and the mode of consensus rather. But what mode is the ADC adopting for its primary elections?
The National Working Committee of the party is working on those details. Like I told you, the preoccupation for now is to speed up membership registration, which is a concern of most members of the ADC, and that was emphasized very strongly at yesterday's meeting, that the process of membership registration and very importantly revalidation, because there are some members on the register of the ADC who are no longer there. But
let me just come in. Looking at the states the ADC is right now, they would be wrestling against an incumbent factor. That's the ruling All Progressive Congress. You don't think that ADC is in a race against time, that they need to show some sense of urgency in its planning?
That's exactly what we're doing. We know we're in a race against an incumbency, but there are 2 sides to incumbency, like a coin. You have the positive signs of incumbency and the negative signs.
Right.
And for us, we know that the APC belongs to the negative side. They have not much to count in their favor for being incumbents in government, because they mess the place up.
Well, speaking about the APC and the negative and the positive sides, recently a Canadian court reportedly declared the APC and the PDP as terrorist organizations. What do you make of that report?
Well, it shows part of the negativity that I'm saying. If the perception of the international community and more so the Nigerian community is that the ADC, the APC and the PDP have failed, and they are not parties we here are not calling them terrorists yet, but there are all elements of banditry in both the APC and the PDP, and that's why we say they are negatives, and we do not believe that majority of Nigerians are looking forward to APC or ADC, and we're talking to Nigerians directly at the grassroots, and we know what we're doing.
Okay, Honorable Igbawo, I just want to come back to, the membership status of some of your front runners, if I may call it that, for the presidential ticket within the party. Today's Daily Independent reports that the Obedient movement have declared that there's no uncertainty or confusion about Peter Obi's position, that he will run on the ticket of the Labour Party for 2027. I'd just like to confirm, are you expecting him to port, or are you aware that his movement, because of course the attraction around Peter Obi is the Obedient movement, what is the status of your talks with Peter Obi? Are you expecting him to also pick up his membership as a matter of now? As you've said, the deadline is now.
Yes, of course. Peter Obi has been participating in the process of the coalition right from the beginning until now. So sometimes when members of Obedient make statements, we doubt whether they are consulting him. The issue is that the vital and critical processes that we are going through, Peter Obi is part of it. He is part of the leadership that constituted the reconstituted National Working Committee and NEC. And if you have no keen interest in a political party and you are moving your principal persons into their leadership, then I don't know what else will show us that. He's not from outside. It's a different thing when you say whether Jonathan is coming. That's a different way. He's not been part of the coalition. But Peter Obi has been part of the coalition from the beginning. And I have seen him say in audio and video messages that he's a member of the party and that he is there not just for the purpose of getting a ticket for the presidency. He is there to salvage Nigeria. That is what he has said himself. So I'd rather believe Peter Obi himself, who is at meetings with us, than believe those who were part of his 2023 ambition. They may be thinking that maybe they are better off identifying as the Obedience, but I can assure you that Obedience themselves are not static.
Don't you need them? Don't you need their Obedience in 2027?
We definitely need them. And several of them are in the leadership of the party as I'm speaking to you. But I should perhaps remind you that the Labour Party has 2 factions. I will not be surprised if some of the Obedience are chosen a different faction, but for those who are in the faction in which Peter Obi is, are certainly those who are for the ADC, and we are working with them. Where the national chairman of the party, of the Labour Party, is with us at meetings every time we meet, along with Peter Obi. So I don't want to believe those who are speaking possibly without due consultations.
Okay, so what would you say are specific strategies that the ADC is pursuing in these early realignments?
Matter of strategy, they're not matters we discuss too openly, but we know what it takes to win an election. And so you are developing strategies, one, of building a formidable political party. We are developing strategies of having a very, strong and democratic constitution. We are working towards a workable manifesto, and we are working towards developing a blueprint for an ADC government.
But
so that when we come into government, we're not going to start looking left and right. What do we do? Because these are being worked upon. And so we come in ready to start to hit the ground running on day one when we take over, governance in Nigeria.
Okay, ahead of the race to 2027, you have some multiple legal tussle against the leadership structure, the status of the leadership structure of your party. How is your party coping with this? And what if it turns out the other way? What are the other political options for your party?
Well, let me reassure Nigerians once again that we do not have any concerns about litigation. Litigation is an ongoing thing. But before we ever got to choosing the ADC as our platform, we had navigated all the possibilities, including litigations. And we know that those that were there, we allow them to get them off the face of the litigation portal. Before we got the party down, we have reviewed all those things. Now, of the few new litigations that are coming up, we know they are worthless. I'm not just speaking because I'm a lawyer. I'm speaking because we, as a legal team, already investigated those people who are going to court, and we know either they don't have the locals to be there. So what do you worry about?
But there are some people who would say that the ADC has no political structure, with about just 3 members in the National Assembly.
That is not a structure. The issue is that every person you see on the screen who is in the coalition has a structure. I have a structure. I won election as a member of the National Assembly. My structures are still intact. So if I come into ADC, I bring my structures. Peter Obi has structures more than he had in 2023. He is there. He has developed the structures more. Atiku has structures. Tambuwa has structures. Everybody, you see the people you quote, you can see them on the screen. They have structures.
This is ultimatum to Atiku, Obi and others to formalize membership, and of course the abandonment of all Democratic Alliance, otherwise referred to as ADA. I'm now joined by Dr. Ladan Salihu. He is a member ADC Publicity Committee. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you for having me.
It looks like ADC has decided to part ways, with ADA. But let's start with the premise of the Labour Party. Yunus Atanko, the coordinator of the Labour Party, says, this amounts, what the ADC is doing amounts to altering the agreement midway. Apparently, maybe why is the ADC in a hurry? That's what he's saying. Why has this ultimatum become, necessary at this time?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, let us understand that we are, in a very delicate political situation right now in the country. The kind of, challenges we have, the constraints, and going forward. Politics is, is war that you fight with civility and strategy. Right now, the nation can't wait. We have, less than 2 years, if you like, to the national elections, and Nigerians are yearning for a complete overhaul, a complete change, a complete new direction, new leadership politically. And so you don't have the luxury of time to begin to ponder, to begin to take it like a laissez-faire attitude to politics. The approach the ADC did to Mr. Peter Obi is just to inject some verve and gusto into his own political machine, to understand the imperatives of quickly joining the ADC 100%, so that we can strategize, we can come up with the best of options when we speak into Nigerians, that in our fold we have titans that have been tested, and with all the integrity and the quality that they have and the pedigree to win an election. We can't wait. So it wasn't meant to raise any negativities about our approach in asking Mr. Peter Obi to kind of hurry up and join the coalition, so that we can perfect our own strategies going forward.
This directive, is it targeted at the presidential, at least those who have indicated interest in running for president in this coalition, Atiku, Obi, Rotimi Amici and the others, or is it for generality of all those who seek to join this coalition, or the ADC? The
ADC is saying that when you look at the political calendar from now to the time of campaign and elections in 2027, that really we don't really have time to waste. So it's not particularly directed entirely at Mr. Peter Obi and the Labour Party. No, it is directed to all political juggernauts, chieftains, members of other political parties who want to join the fold, to come in and understand the imperative of we shouldn't be seen to be complacent. We must be seen to have our hands on the plow, and to give the party a direction, so that we can go out there and face Nigerians and convince them that we are actually not only the party that will give them change, but a party that will give them the change they deserve and the change that they have been yearning for.
Well, I hope I can take you up on that particular change that you talk about, because it sounds like deja vu. Nigerians have heard of change before. Now, Peter Obi's, from what we're getting from his camp, it looks like it's not entirely too sure of what this coalition is about, where it's going, and so he might just be beating his time. Isn't that what it shows, that the ADC or the coalition itself may not necessarily be as clear in terms of direction as they would like to see?
No, the
ADC itself.
No, the ADC, the coalition, is as clear as chalk is from cheese, my sister. We are very, very. We concentrate on the issues. We look at the parameters politically. We look at the future not only for the metamorphosis of the party into a great option, a great platform for Nigerians to come on board so that we can achieve the change we are talking for. No, we are also looking at the party as the strategic option going forward that will not only galvanize Nigerians but will give them that platform of belief, of conscience, of integrity, of an option that is not only workable but an option that will prevail and present a platform that will take Nigeria out of the present state of, if you like, political disillusionment to the state of purposefulness for the nation.
All right, very, very quickly. I mean, from all indication, the coalition will not be registering a new political party since it's dissociated from the ADA. You now have the ADC. Now, let's talk about former President Goodluck Jonathan's meeting with the chairman of the ADC, the person of David Mark. What exactly was that meeting about?
You see, in politics, strategy matters.
Right.
And it is a very good not only for the optics for the ADC, but it shows Nigerians that the statesmen of quality and pedigree, such as President Goodluck Jonathan, is a man. Is not only a statesman, but he has proven himself to be a quality leader. And so, if he can approach or have a meeting with the ADC, it tells you that the ADC is going places. And we expect these meetings to happen. It is in the process of calibration politically, of interface, of integration, of reaching out, of deepening stakeholding.
Is he a likely candidate for the ADC, or nominee, or aspirant?
Every person that has quality that can provide leadership for Nigerians is welcome on board. We are going to be a party. We are a party that will live by the rules and the norms of civilized political behavior in campaign and elections and in primaries and in the presentation, if you like, the production.
Have you decided what mode of primaries? Would it be what's it called, a consensus? Would it be direct primaries? Which one would it be? Has that been decided yet?
The architects, if you like, the major midwives of the political party are working on that. But what I want to assure Nigerians is that whatever options the ADC is putting on the table, it is an option that will guarantee transparency, will guarantee integrity, and will guarantee that sense of belief for every contestant to come and to have a level playing field, that at the end of the election, whoever emerges victorious, either at the presidential level, the gubernatorial level, or the National Assembly, or even the local elections, will be completely happy that the process has gone through a foolproof process, not anointing candidates, as it were, like you see in the other parties.
Or annoying candidates, if you like. That's Ali, who member ADC Publicity Committee. Thank you very much for joining us.